And backing up Kingston here this afternoon is Gretchen Pavarut. And the third of the depth chart today when it comes to goaltending is Carolyn Borjo. And those two have combined so far for the teams 4 shutouts. Reaching out with Desch. Good pressure on that backside that came from Charlotte Turr along the near wall. Waiting back out at the point is Haley Caligiuri. Skating back in, Chandler Taylor trying to dislodge the puck. Came off the skate of Taylor Heleniak, the sophomore forward from Mercer, Wisconsin. Taylor now along that back wall. The Buccaneers go back after it. Pointed up the right side with Maddie Hoffman, who has points in 3 of the last 5 for Beloit. She goes down through center. Falcons will send it right back to Lidkey. Back into the ice, part of the blue line here for Concordia, Wisconsin. Taylor leads it ahead. On the turn now with Michaela McGowan. Flung it toward goal. Out in front, you had Naomi Black. And off the end boards, the Buccaneers lost their handle. McGowan cutting off the path. Same thing that time with Lidkey. Send it right back down low with Black. Pressure on that backside that came from April Baki, the freshman defenseman from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, the former Old Abe of Eau Claire Memorial. Sent off the far side by Black. On that outside for the Falcons, you currently have Julie Barlow, a freshman forward. Among this freshman class of 8 so far for Steve Fabilli, back for his 12th season. On the Falcons bench. Banged off the back wall by McGowan along the near wall. And waiting back, Lidkey skating back over. For a second there, you had Michaela Spetcher back into there. Sports 5 minutes gone by here in a scoreless opening period. Round 2 between the Falcons and Buccaneers. Last night a 2-goal victory, a 2-0 shutout win for the Falcons, who come to this one with 3 consecutive shutouts. They've also won a program record 11 consecutive. A look there for Julia Fusi, save made. McGowan taking the draw for the Falcons. Was opposed there by Natalie Gurr. At the point, looking toward goal again was Hannah Chady, the sophomore from Janesville, Wisconsin, went to Milton High School. Another look there for Brittany Detch. That was off the stick of Eva Kingston. Another one off Kingston. Tough angle to work with for Maddie Hoffman. And backhanded across the way by Natalie Gurr. Detch back behind the Beloit net. Comes along the near wall. In comes Lidkey for the Falcons. Puck and pin along the near side. McGowan. Then looking back out in front on the wall went Black. And a piece of it did April Vaki. Lidkey. Black right back with Lidkey. Oncoming was Natalie Gurr. And the Buccaneers will take a swipe at it, kept in by McGowan. Skates in here for the Falcons. Looking out in front, had Black for a moment. Lidkey back now on this near side. Onto the ice for the Falcons comes Faith Frediniak, the freshman forward from St. Albert, Alberta. Reaching out those Michaela McGowan. Stromberg back up his left side. High attempt taken with Spetcher back out there for the Falcons. Frediniak, Spetcher. Moving along the far wall. Just missed down the hookup off that pass from Brennan Grace Dittmer. Out of the zone, Falcons get back on side. Stromberg will backhand it across the way. Oncoming was Natasha Lundwick, the freshman forward from Royalton High School. Shy goes to the attempt there for Frediniak, trying to go short side. In the corner for the Falcons, Dittmer outside that far circle. Over it goes. And a good look shot and a goal scored by Abby Hansberg. Puck found now trying to switch directions. Out there was Maddie Hoffman. And the Falcons with for a moment, had an on-man rush. McGowan fires and scores! Michaela McGowan will lead for the Falcons in a matchup that was scoreless through 1 last night. But wasting very little time and setting the tone here on this Saturday. The Falcon team has been able to score first in 11 of their first 14 games. Julie Barlow and Eva Kingston have been credited with the assist, so a goaltender assist in this Kingston's first appearance as a Falcon waiting for confirmation, but that's the announcement here at the Ozaki Ice Center. Spetcher looking for more with her speed. Fires, and it trickles in. Boards on by Garum. Down ice and off the stick of Zoe Soust. Off this back wall. Garum on the forecheck here for the Falcons overcame Black. Out there as well as Maddie Jugan. Across the blue line here with Natasha Ludwig. Going to come across here for the Buccaneers with Addison Gralke. Going far side Black. 5:10 to go here in the opening period. Heck of a start here for the Falcons, setting the tone right away. They have scored 3 times. They have taken a total of 10 shots on goal. Litke. She has factored into the attack so far with a shot. Puck comes free, but gathered in. And Beloit will put up the outside off that pass that came from April Vaki. Here's Natasha Ludwig. And skating around with it is Eva Daly, the sophomore from St. Paul, Minnesota. Off of Ludwig. And take it away. Cicerello at the blue line. Right there is Daly. Black comes up with it for the Falcons. Has Taylor out in front. McGowan with Taylor. Off the end boards. Right there with Brittany Detch. And again, the Buccaneers right through neutral. Up this left point and thread of the last 4, which included a goal last week in the 6-2 victory at Dubuque. That starts the new year on January 2nd. Snapped an 8-game skid. Tough angle to work with. Getting spun around at Kylie Schreier. Got a 2-goal performance in that victory against Dubuque on January 2nd. Rachel Fusi. Now Litke. From behind the Falcon net will play it near side. Put off the right wing boards. And with Taylor Heleniak. Also out there right now is Kayla Gomes. Stromberg going across the way with her pass. Up the left side with Brenna Grace Dittmer. And into a teammate, and the Buccaneers now will skate through center with it and send it period. 3-goal lead for the Falcons, scoring 3 times in the first. Cicerello. And for the Buccaneers, playing right now without Tate Hutchinson, the starting right defenseman, being helped off the ice by her teammates injured in that first period. Give it right back and swung off the near wall. He's trying to put it there with April Vaki. Detch. On the backside, Kayla Gomes. Out in front, you have McGowan. Comes up with it, leaving it. Fire. Black goes high. Naomi Black with a great opportunity in the slot off that find. That from McGowan. Daly going to bat it out of the air to the Falcons. Instead, it will wobble its way into the Concordia, Wisconsin zone. And besides playing women's hockey, also played lacrosse before she transferred to Northland and now making a home at Beloit College. And this being her first opportunity in goal for the Buccaneers. The 3rd goaltender used. They have 4 on the roster. But so far it's been a year that has seen Maddie Bliss play 9 games, and then Janelle Quast has played another 7 games. The first goaltending win went the direction of Bliss back on the 4th of November. That was the first win for the Buccaneers in knocking off Lawrence. McGowan. High slot. Stromberg off the pad of Soust. Black trying to find the loose puck. That's going to be covered up with the mitt of Zoe Soust. Freezing the puck with 15-24 to Jugan taking the draw for Concordia, Wisconsin. Sent out of the face-off, Gurr. And replaced that time by Maddie Hoffman. Caligiuri will send it around. Taylor. Pin along that far wall by April Vaki. Detch. Falcons keep it in. Jugan. Here's Black. Detch. Far side there with April Vaki. Another one of the 11 freshmen for the Buccaneers. Taylor. Head for Black. On that centering feed in front of Maddie Jugan. This being her 7th game appearance, her first since playing at Stevens Point on December the 14th. Heck of a weekend that was for the Falcons. Their first 2 wins ever on Stevens Point ice, knocking off the Pointers 5-0, 4-0 right before the winter break. Last night being their first game since December 14th, their first home game since the 21st of November, following 5 consecutive on the road. And they picked up where they left off with shutout victory. The last home game had beaten Lake Forest 1-0 part of last night's 2-0 shutout W. But it's all been part of this program record 11-game win streak. Again for Beloit along this right side. So to knock it back, and on the second and third effort, Schreier able to win this faceoff for the Buccaneers. Black takes it away, though, in the Beloit zone. Back out with Cicerello on this near wall, giving back near circle. Off the takeaway and sent the head. Out there right now is Hannah Chady. No stoppage here in player 9:34 to gears. McGowan against Schreier. And a Falcon face-off win. Well, too much on that. Pass back to Caligiuri. Cicerello, though, able to help, again, regain possession for the Falcons. Got away from McGowan. And lifted. That goes flying into the Fusi. Foul on the far side. Vaki had it knocked off her stick. Second try, we'll see it shot into the Falcon end of the ice. On the near side, Julia Fusi. Cicerello there. Kennedy Gralke leaves it out in front. And Rachel Fusi oncoming. On this near side, it was kept in. And Fusi trying to get it through that. Rachel Fusi with Chady back out near the point for Beloit. Now the Falcons get up the right wing. Good speed. Heleniak up the right wing. Let's go back after it. You have Dittmer out there. Out in front is Kayla Gomes. Heleniak on the pass. One-time attempt. Lifted off the stick. Assust on the windup by Michaela Garum. Julia Fusi. Banked off the near wall. Gomes. Well, back with her pass. Dittmer reaching out. Here we go again. Gomes across the blue line. Looking for some help. Right now, 3-on-1 disadvantage. And it's going to be taken away with Rachel Fusi. Falcons will make a line change. And Gomes is about to skate off herself as this one lifts up and over the Beloit goal. Sent up ice by Caligiuri. Up this right wing with Rachel Fusi firing. Another save here for Kingston. Rachel Fusi brought back in and sent up ice by McGowan. Able to connect with Turr. Gets by, well, trying to get by one before being knocked down by Avery Sinclair. There's the first penalty of the game against the Buccaneers. Trying to get around here in this second period. A shorty and now a power play goal for the Falcons for their 2 goals in this second. Didn't even get to spit out the fact the Falcons come in 4th in the NCHA at about 19% of the power play. They're now 9 for 42. That being the 13th power play goal allowed by the Buccaneers. Ludwig, second try. And now Taylor. Down to 90 seconds left here in the second. Right there in front, Turr scores! Getting tangled up along with Maddie Hoffman. So dislodge this puck. Still waiting, finally kick free, Garum along the near wall. Turning to Brittany Detch. Through neutral, Garum through center, here's Black. Ahead, McGowan looking to split a couple. Got a shot off somehow, splitting a couple of Buccaneers, but a stop made here by Zoe Sust. Not easy to do, again being flanked by a couple of Buccaneers, and still somehow, as she was making her way through the slot, got an attempt off. Lidke from the point, bouncing puck, and it skips. Already with 12 wins on the verge of a 13th, which will be tied for third most in a single season of program history, with plenty of more hockey to be played here these next couple of months. Of course, the record for the program is 20 wins set last year. The next most is 14, set in 2022-23. So an 8-goal lead for the Falcons. Trying to get one back. Gurr steered away by Kingston. Most goals the Falcons have scored since scoring 10 in a 10-0 victory at Kings in Pennsylvania on November 30th of last season. Hansberger bouncing with Ferdiniak, far side Sorello. Ferdiniak behind the Beloit net. Got her stick knocked out of her hands. Able to pick it back up to the Falcons, back on the near wall. Found by Spetcher. Looking to move in, but leave it out in front. She is on hat trick watch. One of a couple of players at here. Far side Tur. Coming across Mackenzie Kostuk. Falcon clearance. Successful penalty kill for a second consecutive matchup between these two. The Buccaneers now 0 for 4 in the power play. Addison Gralke got slowed up. Gomes. One of the 3 Falcons with 2 goals in this game. Pops free. Dittmer. And give it back to April Vaki. Under 8 to go here in the third period. But all Falcons here in this one, a much different looking game from that of last night that was scoreless 3-1, ended up being a 2-0 Falcon win with both goals coming to the second. A block for Emma Geffrey. And Geffrey will send it through center with Dittmer. Poke Geffrey. And Black trying to wrestle it back away for the Falcons. Off the left wing board for Daly. Out in front, slowed up with going back with her pass. And the Falcons will start up this right side. Left off the near wall. Reaching out for Concordia, Wisconsin did Ferdiniak. 3.5 to go here in the third. Things have come in 3 for the Falcons here in this one. 3 goals per period. Dominant showing so far. It's been 11-0 in the weekend series. After they had a weekend series against Stevens Point before the winter break, in which they won the 2 games by a combined score of 9-0. Falcons will go into the weekend series with a program best 12 consecutive wins. Home and home. They will play here on Saturday against the Green Knights at 5 p.m. So a great test coming up for the Falcons. Green Knights at 10-4 overall, 7-1 in conference play, entering today. Right now the Falcons in the midst of 3 out of 4 and 4 out of 6 on home ice. And they're about to get to 5-1 on home ice. And as for the Buccaneers, Wednesday, non-conference at MSOE, and then they return to WIAC play against the defending back-to-back Division III champs, River Falls. January 23rd, 24th, Beloit home. Their home rink in Janesville. The River Falls team bringing back 19 of 25 letter winners from last year's repeat national championship squad. Stromberg. Out in front, you had McGowan, Stromberg. Spetcher out there along with Black. Also on the ice right now is Caligiuri. Has it for the Falcons. Far side, you have Rachel Fusi. Swung right back into the Buccaneers' end of the ice. They control with under 2 minutes left here in this third. Fusi lost her handle. Knocked away at center. And back after it for the Buccaneers goes Claire Dixon. Near side with Kennedy Gralke.